supporting community and helping others recognize their full potential. I'm your host, Sarah Giosi, and this is Potential Podcast.
We need to figure out before this quarantine is over how to reset, how to go back to our everyday normal.
We are back for another week. And I'll be honest with you guys, we've actually already recorded this very podcast, but
version number 2.0.
But we had some major technical difficulties last week and the entire file got corrupted. So we are just doing it for this week now. Sometimes you have to roll with the punches, and that's what we're doing here today. So this episode today is called Post-Binge Reset. And to help me with this, Jeff Giosi, my, as always, co-host.
Ricka Reset.
As we have been discussing in some of our previous episodes, this has been a time of stress eating and binge watching television, and for a lot of people, just getting into an overall slump and getting into a place of really bad habits. At this point, we've been in this for a while, and we still don't know exactly when we'll start to see a transition back to a somewhat normal, whatever that may look like, life. The reality is that for a lot of people, these are major long-lasting changes. And if you've allowed yourself to get into those bad habits and go into that place, now is the time where we need to see a reboot, particularly when it comes to weight gain. I know a lot of people have said, well, when this started, we thought, it'll just be a couple weeks. We can kind of take it easy. And then people got sad or people got frustrated or people got scared. And so again, binge eating, sitting around. What has happened is long now term, for some people 6 weeks or more, bad habits have been forming. A natural thought may be to take extreme measures. You've been binging, now you need to purge. Crash dieting, guilt, self-loathing, all of these things can start to creep in as a solution, but they are not. And you know what else isn't a solution? Just giving up, which is another thing. We've actually heard that. We've heard people say, I'm giving up until all of this is over. Well, the unfortunate fact is, even once it's, I put in air quotes, over, there are going to be long-lasting impacts from this. So I think that is a really bad way to look at it. And instead, what we need to do is figure out how we can change habits now.
For me, what I enjoy seeing is the memes on Facebook with Chris Farley. They're all about coming out of quarantine and it's Chris Farley running down the aisle in Tommy Boy, or it's Patrick Swayze where you see him doing the Chippendales dancing and then next to him you see Chris Farley. Pre-quarantine, post-quarantine.
And so what we want is to not help you be the Chris Farley character in these memes.
Granted, super funny.
Yeah.
But not what we want for your health.
In episode 3, entitled Best Diet for You, you can go back to that, and we talked a little bit in that episode about how to figure out what the best diet is for you. And then in episode 6, we have another focus on what returning to fitness looks like. So revisit those episodes. Those might be really good tools right now as we're thinking about what a reboot or a reset may look like. But today what we're going to do is provide even more specific tips on how to reset after a period of binging. And we're talking about this now with COVID-19, but this can also be used in the future for holidays or vacations or any time where you take an extended period of time and you fall into bad habits. How do we reset, and how do we do it in a healthy way and not in this crazy fad diet purge way? Our first tip:
eat clean, eat green.
That's right. And what we're talking about here is resetting your digestive system. There is no need for starvation diets.
Boom.
As a matter of fact, it can really slow down your progress. Give yourself some grace and just clean up your diet. You can do that by eating whole and natural foods, fresh fruits, raw or steamed vegetables, or pressure cooked, depending on the vegetables and if you need water for them. Add green smoothies into your routine. Keep your meals healthy with lean proteins. Eliminate those complex starchy carbs like breads and pastas. Swap unhealthy snacks for fruits, vegetables. And again, go back to episode 3 if you want some tips on what could be the best diet for you and how to find that. We also have some worksheets to help you through that on the website, CrossFitMorgantown.com. But the big thing to remember is
Elite Fitness in 100 Words by Greg Glassman. The first 2 sentences are eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. Keep intake levels that support exercise, but not excess body fat. Booyah!
It's one of those things. It's simple. That doesn't mean it's
Ain't
easy. But it is that simple.
One of the books I'm currently reading, and I really, really believe in this idea that weight gain is based on hormonal changes. Specifically, the two hormones are insulin and cortisol. Cortisol gets raised during stress. So if you think about the quarantine, if you think about homeschooling your kids, if you think about just the world outside your four walls, that is very stressful. So your cortisol levels are going to be raised. Eating highly refined carbohydrates that we typically snack on is going to boost your insulin level. When those two things are high, we will gain weight. We need to figure out before this quarantine is over how to reset, how to go back to our everyday normal. Tip number 2. Feel better by cutting the bloat.
I like how you give each of those.
They're like movie titles.
Yeah. Our first side note here, if you believe that your diet is truly on point, but you're still having consistent issues with bloating, we highly recommend talking to a doctor about that. There may be some bigger problems or allergies or something else at play there. Otherwise, bloat can be caused by a number of unhealthy lifestyle choices, including, you ready for this? Not even what you eat, but stress. Stress can be a big player. There's actually a lot of scientific research that shows that stomach pain and bloating are more common in people who have stress. So for tips on recognizing and managing stress, we're just full of these today. Go see episode 8 because we talk about that. I don't think we've ever plugged other episodes as much as we already have in this one, but there you go. Now, for specific tips on how to cut bloat right now, here we go. Number 1, replace pop and other carbonated drinks and replace those with things like water or your unsweetened green tea. The next one.
Get more active. I love that one. And number 3 kind of goes into maybe 3 and 3B. Try probiotics and also maybe a squatty potty.
But probiotics, that could be, pro and prebiotics can be really important. And we will actually, in just a moment, give you some suggestions that could help with that. But get more active, try probiotics. The next one is cut down on salt intake. So if you are finding yourself binge eating in front of the television, chances are what you're eating are those salty snacks. Even if you're going for a healthier salty snack like a nut, it's oftentimes that they are salted nuts. So find a way to cut back on some of that salt and you may automatically see a lot of that bloat cut down. And then the final one, massage your stomach. I know that sounds kind of silly. Where this became so apparent as a helpful tip for us was with our children. If anybody has children out there, we try to keep our intake of any type of medications down in our house. We always go for a natural alternative first and a medication last. And one of the big things, if you have babies, that a lot of people turn to very quickly are gas drops. And for us, before going to the gas drops, we tried belly massages, and it's incredible how much it helps. We do these little things where we massage their bellies or we pick up their legs and we kind of squish them in toward their bellies, and how much that helps relieve their bloating and gas pain is incredible.
Number 3, cut the cocktails.
Yes, so reset by detoxing from alcohol. Indulging is fine, but it may be time to put a cork in it.
Crickets. Still crickets.
But here's the deal. We were looking at a study a week ago, Jeff, and it was showing that half of all people, that is an extreme percentage. It was actually 48%, were saying in a survey that they are now doing day drinking and specifically drinking while working. That's pretty extreme. I mean, that's just such an extreme difference from what we'd been seeing traditionally. And a big part of that is that they're home. So instead of going for that afternoon coffee as a pick-me-up, they're going for, while I work on this spreadsheet, I'm going to drink this glass of wine.
I saw a stat just yesterday that drinking itself, not even day drinking, we'll just group it all in together. Drinking itself is up 243%. You know it's a real percentage because it's a random number. This is 243%. That is crazy.
Anecdotally, just even within our own membership, as we are keeping in touch with people and talking to them and asking about where the struggles are, this has been one of the biggest ones. We have heard a lot from our members at CrossFit Morgantown that the biggest bad habit they've picked up during this period is drinking more, drinking daily, drinking throughout the day. So we wanted to really include this one here. If you want to reset after a binge period, that could also be a binge period of drinking, not just foods. So reset by cutting the cocktails.
You ready to see what I'm going to do right here? Why do bars have salty nuts and crackers on the bar pre-COVID-19? Why do they have salty treats on the bar for you?
I don't know, Jeff. Why?
Boom. So you drink more. So number 2 and 3 are actually tied together. If you're eating salty foods, you're going to feel that need for thirst. And right now, it's easier for you to turn to that spritzer and not the water or not that beverage that's going to actually quench your thirst. And what actually happens is under 2 drinks is a hydrator. Once you go beyond 2 drinks, it then becomes dehydrating. So not only are you putting the salt in your body, you're dehydrating yourself more by drinking that alcohol. Bro science.
What I don't want you to have heard is that 2 drinks a day is still good. We're going to pause our conversation here for just a moment to invite you to please rate and review the show. Now, if you're already a podcast listener, then you likely already know or have heard another podcast host tell you that this can be really helpful to us. And, well, if you're not already a podcast listener, then you are likely related to us. So, hi, Mom. Do me a favor and give us that review and rating. Again, it can really help us out. All right, done with the shameless, or is it shameful at this point? I don't even know. Plug back to the meat and potatoes. Should I not say meat and potatoes since it's a show about health and wellness? How about back to the organic meat and healthy root vegetable? I'm so sorry. I know. We just lost a good rating on that one. I apologize.
Tip number 4, workout.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. Just move. Do the home workouts. If you are a member of our gym, we've got those home workouts for you. We've got our Zoom workouts for you. If you are not a member of our gym, well, you could become one and get a home membership no matter where you are. But besides that, hopefully you have a gym, or you have a place in your home, or you have a walking trail outside of your home, or you have a way of getting yourself moving. And this could even be dance parties in the living room. It doesn't matter. But if you want to reset after a binge, you've got to get moving, going for walks, starting or continuing that exercise plan. One of the things that I want to highlight here is to give yourself some grace. If you have taken the last month or 6 weeks off, don't jump in 100% and put yourself in a place where you're going to be so sore, or you're going to get injured, or you're going to actually be worse off. What you need to do is ease yourself in. Don't get frustrated that you aren't where you were a month ago. Scale as needed and build yourself back up. You can't take a month off and expect to be where you were. You just can't. I keep using the word grace, but just give yourself some forgiveness for where you've been. These have been really wild times. It's okay. Let's now, though, reset, reboot, get moving, and do it in a nice, safe way.
One thing I came across the other day in reference to that is a lot of us, our general attire has changed. Maybe we're in pajamas more. Maybe we're in comfortable clothes more. That is not going to inspire us in the moment to work out. Think about this. When you work out, you have your gym shorts, you have your gym shirt, whatever it is. Have the same uniform. We talked about maintaining routines. That's a routine. You put on those gym clothes to work out. If you're laying around in your PJs all day and you expect to go do a workout, that's not going to happen. Put on your uniform so you can work out. Number 5, stay hydrated.
The first thing you can do with this is decrease those alcohol levels. That's going to help you here. The next thing, increase, this is pretty obvious, guys, increase the amount of water you drink. So decrease alcohol, increase water. And then finally, this is one of the favorite things in the GOC house. Add flavor to your water, and you can do that with fresh fruit. We do things like berries or lemon wedges, orange slices. I love to feel like I just got home from the spa, but of course I'm not going to the spa right now, or pretty much ever, because I'm very cheap. So I like to add lime wedges and cucumber pieces into my water, and it just feels so refreshing, and it feels like you're pampering yourself a little bit. It also, for people that do not like to drink water, this is a great way of having a drink that that does not have added sugars, fake flavors, or chemicals added into it, but still feels like it's more of a treat than just water. Jeff, you're one of those people.
I don't know if it's my taste buds. I am not fan of the taste of water. I get that it's tasteless, but to me that also means pointless. So for me, adding that little splash of flavor really does help. I was a kid born in the 80s. I was raised on Crystal Light. So I never drank regular water. My water was in the form of Crystal Light, which I look back now and cringe. But things that have really worked for me, we talked about this a little bit in the pre and probiotics, but adding greens and reds into my day is super important. The company that I recommend is Organic Muscle. They have a greens, they have a reds, and they have a gold. Gold is a little bit of the nighttime mixture, help you sleep soundly. That to me is a hack for getting more water in my day, because every time I drink one of those, it's somewhere between 12 and 16 ounces of water, and it does have flavor, but I'm also putting a lot of really good things into my body when I'm doing it.
And with those, we do not have an endorsement with them or anything like that. So
No.
Jeff's not getting paid. He's just sharing with you what we like. And with those, they are organic, they're vegan, they're completely,
Non-GMO.
they're non-GMO, they're natural, and they do
Sweetened
not have,
naturally, no sugar.
they have no added sugar. They have no fake dyes or chemicals in. They're actually, I think, one of the more superior products we've found so far. We can link to that in our show notes, or at least give you some more details about that. But that is a great way. Another thing is if you are somebody using protein shakes, or some of that can also help you be hydrating. But the point that we're trying to make here is make sure you're drinking enough. I think sometimes when you're at the gym or you're in your normal day-to-day work environment, it's a little bit easier because those things are built into your day. But now that you're just sitting at home on the couch, it can be a little bit harder to remember to keep that water bottle right there by your side.
Pounding coffee and alcohol is not going to keep you hydrated.
And the final note on that is, and this kind of goes back to the bloating, but I was mentioning adding things like lemon to your water. First thing in the morning, if before you even start your day, you drink a big glass of warm water with lemon in it, it can actually help reduce bloat and inflammation throughout the day as well. So there's just another little tip for you. All right, the next one is, and this could be a whole show, so we're not going to go too in the weeds on this one, but add some apple cider vinegar. If you are looking for a nice quick tip to help you reset and reboot after a binge, adding some apple cider vinegar to your diet could be a nice easy way to do that.
There are a lot of different types of apple cider vinegar out there. When selecting the type that is right, make sure you look for, it'll say it right in the bottle, that the apple cider vinegar must have, and this is funny, must have the mother. The mother is how it gets activated. The mother is that its purity level and how your body uses it. Without the mother, it is just a bad tasting drink.
To further explain that too, a lot of the apple cider vinegars that you will find on the shelves will not say that they are organic and have the mother. And frankly, the one with the mother may look a little less appetizing. It's kind of grainy. It's kind of cloudy looking.
Sediment.
And that's because it has not been through the same type of processing that the others have been to remove the mother. And yes, those remove the cloudiness, but it also removes a lot of those good things that we want to get from that vinegar. If you are someone that is going, oh, I could just simply not, because what we do and what we have done traditionally is taken a shot of apple cider vinegar, put it in our warm water with some lemon or something, and make a drink out of it.
Pink Himalayan sea salt.
Sure, yes.
Great morning beverage.
Great morning beverage to kind of jumpstart your day. We've done that, but a lot of people cannot stomach that, and I totally understand. So you can also incorporate apple cider vinegar in other ways. So you could make a quinoa side dish that's got some cucumbers, and you can add some of that in there as your dressing. You could add it as a dressing on your salad. You could incorporate it in more foods. You could find ways to sneak that into your greens drink. You can also, and Jeff, I'll let you talk about this, we did find, you guys, this amazing product. It is actually the first of its kind. It is an apple cider vinegar gummy, but here's the trick, because those have existed. But the trick is it's an apple cider vinegar gummy that has the mother. This is huge.
Guys, here's the deal. When our 2.5-year-old begs for an apple cider vinegar gummy, you know that it is legit. It tastes good. But not only that, we love giving them to him because we know that it has all the natural ingredients and it is good for him. They are delicious. The name of the company is Gully.
And again, we can do some linkage to that for you as well.
And again, not being paid paid by them.
No.
We just think it's that good of a product.
Now that one, and we don't sell the other ones yet, but we're going to. The greens and the reds and the golds, we are going to sell those at the gym. The Gully, we actually have started, we believe in it enough that we've started selling it at the gym. And for people that don't know us, we do not sell a thing. I don't care if they will pay us $1 million just to put it on our shelves. We do not sell a thing that we have not tried and tested ourselves for an extended period of time first, and that we have not fully done the research on to make sure it has all of the ingredients and all of the things that are part of our value system for what should be going in our bodies and our members' bodies.
It's said that everyone has a price. The Giossis don't.
So then our final tip.
Number 7, take care of your mind.
In this time of resetting your mind is majorly important. We've already given tips on how important mental health is during this time, and you can go back to our previous episodes for that as well. I guess the summary in all of this, and we've saved this for last, but really it is probably the number one most important one. Taking care of your body is absolutely huge, but you have to take care of your mind and your mindset as well. Mentally, if your weight is stressing you out right now, focus on maintaining weight instead of trying to lose it during this time. Reframe things in your mind. Find ways to work on being in a better place, because you cannot beat these stress levels. You cannot reset your body if you don't first get yourself in the right headspace.
From the physical side, guys, here's the deal. And we've talked about this in other episodes. Just because you're binging now on whether it be day drinking or processed carbs or whatever it is, the answer is not purging. We hear crash diets all the time, and you binged for 6 weeks, so now you're gonna fast for an entire week and only drink water with lemon juice and cayenne pepper and maple syrup in it. That's not the answer, guys. Take your time, do this right, because here's the deal. Doing it that way might give you that bump you might feel for a week, but it's not sustainable, and you're gonna get back in a bad place. Take your time, use these tips, utilize them in your life, and start taking those steps now.
Those are our 7 tips for today. And again, we could have given you many more tips, but we wanted to keep this digestible, and we wanted them to be things that were pretty simple to start immediately applying or executing in your life. If you want a tips sheet, we have put that together for you, and you can get it on our website. It's CrossFitMorgantown.com. Right at the top, you'll see a section for the podcast, and there you can go for every episode. You can find the episode, and you can find additional materials like worksheets, tip sheets, things like that on there. So check that out. And otherwise, we are just wishing you the absolute best through this time. Again, give yourself some grace. These have been hard times. We're gonna get through it, but we have to reset, and we have to get going in a really good, healthy way. So we hope this helps. Have a great week, everybody.
Take care, guys.